what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, budgeting. Hi guys, my name's Vish and this is Simply Vish. Thanks so much for joining today. Today I'm going to be talking about budgeting for beginners. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the basics. So what I mean by that is understanding your income, understanding your expenses, how to save, and kind of setting yourself up to succeed and to be financially in the best place possible. So hopefully you all find this helpful. Please like, please subscribe, and let's dive in. So to start off, I made some Arnold Palmer and it's bomb. So I'm gonna drink some of that. This is really good. To start off, you want to understand your income. What that means is whether you're unemployed, whether you're receiving stimulus checks, whether you're working part-time, full-time, you want to understand where your money is coming from and when you're getting it and how much it is on average. Let's say you're working a full-time job, you're also babysitting part-time, you maybe get, $50 every time you babysit and it's on and off. You can get an average amount that you make and when you generally make it, and you want to factor that in. You also want to understand the days in general that you get paid. Things like babysitting, working part-time, dog walking. I know it's more of a constantly changing sort of income, but generally having an idea of, okay, I'm going to receive one paycheck at the very least before this date. That's really important. I'm really thankful that I have, a full-time job right now. I know it's really difficult for some people right now, but hopefully you guys are able to find some ways to generate income, and I'd be happy to link below some of the videos that I've seen out there in terms of like generating money online and remotely. I'd be happy to link that below. So now that we have an understanding of the income space, we're going to move to the expenses. So the expenses that we want to understand are the fixed expenses and the variable expenses. Some examples of fixed expenses include rent, car payments, utilities like Wi-Fi, maybe insurance, gym memberships, things like that are all considered fixed expenses because they're not changing month to month. Then there are variable expenses. Those are things like Ubers, grocery shopping, shopping online, going out with friends, dining out with friends. All of those are considered variable expenses. Some utilities can go into that as well, like electric changes month to month, so kind of considered a variable expense. Any sort of subscriptions that you have, so some people have subscriptions to magazines or skincare products or beauty boxes, things like that are all considered subscriptions. So I would consider that a variable expense. Within the variable expenses, I would also include credit card payments. And the reason why I would include that is, although there could be a fixed cost in terms of the automatic payments you can make to your credit card, you always want to pay more. You always want to get as close to the full balance on the credit card as possible, because you don't want any interest accrued on those credit cards based on balances that roll over from month to month. So I want to put that in as a variable expense because that's going to change based on your spending habits. So those are all of your fixed expenses and variable expenses. And then the next thing you want to do is save. You want to understand, how much do I need to save on a monthly basis, or how much can I save on a monthly basis to create an emergency fund? What an emergency fund is just in case there's any sort of emergency where you need extra funds, you have that accessible through your emergency fund. People recommend creating a fund that is 3 months worth of expenses, and that can be a lot. So if you can't do that, I would recommend just starting off with $1,000 and trying to save towards that. So that's going to be your first savings goal. Your other savings goals can include, creating a travel fund, creating a fund for a down payment on a house or an apartment, creating a fund for, paying off a loan in full. I know that's what I'm hoping to save towards right now. So those are your different savings. Once you have an idea of, what your savings goals are, how much you want to allocate towards travel, towards, loan payment, or whatever your savings goals are, then we have the entire picture of what your high level financial goals, expenses, and income is. Once we have that, we also want to understand the dates associated to everything. You want to know the date that your subscription payment goes out. You want to know the date that your income comes in, when you get paid. You want to know the date that your rent's due, the date that your utilities are due, the date that your gym membership's due. You want to understand exactly when everything is happening. And the reason why is when you create your budget, you want to do it based off of each time you get paid. You don't want to do it on a whole month basis. You want to create shorter periods of time to work with so that you are more likely to succeed. Because if you say, for this month, I'm only going to spend $300 on groceries, and you might go up or down, you might forget that number. But if you say, just this week, I'm going to be spending $50, had that $50 in my account, or I'm going to pay that $50 off of my credit card this week. That's it. That allows you to not have to think too far out. It allows you to understand, okay, just this week, I just need to stay within this, and then I'm good. So I would recommend doing that. I need some iced tea. So refreshing. Like I was saying, you have your dates. You know what dates your money is going out. So what do you do with that information? You make sure you have that money in your account. You make sure you have that $50 you need to spend this week for groceries, that's in your account. You have the $100 that you need to spend on insurance, you have that in your account. You have the $800 that you need to pay towards rent, you have that in your account. The date that you need it. The reason why you want to make sure that you have all of those costs available to you in your bank account is so you don't overspend, like unknowingly thinking, oh, I have plenty of money in my account, I don't need to worry about buying this like extra outfit, or I don't need to worry about buying like these 3 extra drinks. Like, no, I have allocated $30 for this night. I've allocated $60 to go out on the weekend, so I'm going to stick to it, otherwise I'm going to go over. It's an easy way to restrict yourself and also like make it easy. Like, okay, I only have this much allocated for this week, I can't go beyond that. Done. Like, you don't think about the extra money. The extra money that you have left over should go straight into your savings. So when you've met your emergency fund, it can go to your first priority. Let's say that's loan payment. You put that money in there, it doesn't exist anymore. This is important because you want to put that money away for your future. You want to put that money away for you, not to be paying other people, not to be kind of stuck in this credit card rat race that so many people are in right now. You want to be able to have money just for you to do what you want. If you want to go on a vacation, you want to buy a new car, you can do all of that, but you just need to set yourself up to succeed. That's what's the most important thing. So again, I'm just going to reiterate. You want to set up your expenses, understand when those expenses are going out, and make sure that money is in your account ready to go on those days. You also want to make sure that those variable expenses, that money is ready to go if possible, or you set yourself to have an alert on your credit card to understand, okay, I'm not going to spend this much more on my credit card. You can set yourself up to be in a better situation. You just need to be strict. Like, aside from being strict, like, you can allocate money to doing things, right? So like I said earlier, expenses change, but you just have to budget for it, right? So if I have one day that I'm spending $30 with my friends, another weekend I'm spending $100 with my friends, I'm gonna make sure I have $130 available. Or I have $50 available every week, put that away. If I don't use it one week, keep it away. Maybe I can go out and go to a fancier place or do something more fun with my friends later with the extra money that I didn't spend. But I've allocated that money specifically for spending with my friends. So I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad spending that money for that. I hope that makes sense. Again, the only reason why I'm saying this, and I'm trying to like reiterate that you have to put money aside for each individual expense, each individual fixed expense, and then saving the rest, is because you have to pay yourself. That's the only way to make it. You can't just continue to pay others. And if you feel like you're in a place right now where you can't save anything, then maybe it's a time for you to reevaluate your subscriptions, your payments, your rent, or like maybe you have to find another source of income. And I'd be happy to help you out in any way I can. Please comment below, please DM me. I'd be happy to look over any of your expenses and help you figure it out too. Like I mentioned before in my other videos, like I want to create a platform where all of us can talk freely, where all of us can talk about our goals and not feel shy or worried about what other people will think. Like we should be in here trying to help each other and try to bring each other up. So I'm here to help you achieve your financial goals if that's kind of what you're focused on right now, because finances can be overwhelming and you can easily dig yourself into a financial hole. And I've done that in the past too. Like I have lived paycheck to paycheck before. When I just started working full-time, I was living paycheck to paycheck. I wasn't saving, but I made sure that I had the minimum amount in my account no matter what. If I definitely got into some credit card debt, but I made sure that I never got charged any overdraft fees, and that helped me a lot. I knew that it wasn't necessarily the most financially responsible thing to move into Brooklyn at that time, but it was really something that I felt like I needed to do. I did it, I made it work, but I was definitely in some financial debt for some time, and this was the way that I got out. I created a payment plan, I understood where my money was going, I kind of knocked down some of the expenses that I had before, paid off those credit card bills. Now I'm credit card debt free, which is great, but now is the time to pay yourself. Make sure you have that emergency fund, make sure you're saving for your financial goals, and hope that this video helps. Again, feel free to reach out anytime in the comments below, DM me. I'm happy to help in any way I can. I want to see you guys happy, and I hope you guys find ways to find happiness every day. Thanks so much for joining.